Hey, Facebook. Hi, guys. It's Jena again. Wanted to connect with you this week and see how things are going for you. This is another Jena Unplugged moment, and I'm all about talking business and entrepreneurship and really helping you continue to break through and reach for your goals that you desire. So today I want to talk about a conversation. Again, I get a lot of inspiration from talking to my clients and really uncovering what's going on for them. And one of the recent conversations that showed up, hey Courtney, was about hitting your upper limit and what that is, of course. And I recognized it in a conversation that a client was having, and the fear that surrounded it, and the confusion and the uncertainty, and there's some signs, right? There's some signals that go off when you are hitting your upper limit, and instead of really sabotaging your progress or sabotaging your direction, I want to give you some tips today on how to kind of break through that. So join me here, say hello. I'd love to hear where you guys are from. Of course, I know some of you. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Mary. Regardless, not everybody else knows you. So tell me where you're from and what what city you're in, and just type it in the comments. Would love to find out more about you. Hey, Kim. And so again, we're going to talk about upper limits. And so here's the thing. This is what happens when you are a business owner and you are stretching, and you're stretching, which is the goal, right? As the growth occurs in the stretch, and you're trying to make new things happen. You might be growing at a speed that you weren't used to, or your income is really increasing and your workload is really increasing, and things are going great, and you feel really positive, and then you hit this wall or ceiling, or whatever. Maybe it's a box with 4 sides, I don't know, but you feel like you're hitting this level that is hard to break through, or you're not sure what to do, or you feel like you want to go back to safety. And hey, Bianca, hey, good to see you here. It's been a long time. So when I see first of all, let me just say I've been here, I've done it, and I'm kind of in that space right now where I'm really learning to recognize when I'm just hitting my upper limit. And by the way, it's an illusion, guys. But how do I react? How do I behave inside of that upper limit? And what am I going to do about it? Because I know I can step more into my potential. I know I have more to give. I know I'm, set for greater things. And yet I tend to hold myself back. So, and that's what I call the upper limit, where that's all it is that you're growing and you're expanding and you're stretching yourself, and then you hit this wall. And so when I was talking to my client, she had doubled her income from the year before. And so of course we were celebrating and we were excited, and then we were looking ahead and looking, especially in the new year, we were like, okay, what's this year's goal? And of course we increased it quite a bit. She picked a lofty goal that I know is completely doable, but it is going to require more of her. Right? It's going to require team. It's going to require moving into things and saying yes to things that are not comfortable and are fresh and brand new. So, so she started questioning and, kind of like, well, I don't know if I can do it. And I don't know, what it's going to feel like, or, if I'm going to really be able to make it happen. I mean, the doubts came in, right? So here's the thing. These are the signals, and maybe you can relate, and maybe you can just say yes in the comments if this is something you felt before. And some of the signals of hitting your upper limit are you feel the quit, right? You want to quit, or you want to turn around and do something else. You feel confused, or you feel uncertain, or you hear the doubts and the, I don't know if I can do this. Another thing you might do is you start backpedaling back to safety, as I call it. You start turning around 180 degrees and you want to go the other direction in your business or you just totally jump ship, and you might cancel things, or maybe you stop working with a coach that you've been committed to, or you you say no to things because you just, and then you make up all the reasons why it's not going to work and it's not the right thing for you. I mean, there's all kinds of signals that this is all that's happening, is that you're reaching the upper limit. And, especially when we get things going really well and everything's looking really positive, I think sometimes we get really comfortable with the struggle and the chaos, right? And so, or the drama for that matter. And that's where we sabotage. That's where we really stop our growth. And hey, Adam. So any of you, am I all alone in this? Because I've felt all of this, by the way. I've switched lanes. I want to well, maybe this isn't working. I should go over here and do this now, or I start backpedaling and I just want to go do something that's more comfortable, or, doesn't require so much of me, or, doesn't put me out in the limelight, or, all of those things are signals that, you're just ready to stretch to the next level. And so say yes if you have ever felt this way, so that I don't think I'm the only one, right? Especially if you're watching the replay, I would love to know if you're a yes as well. And so here's the message for today. You might be giving yourself a really big goal for the year, and it is going to require more of you, or it's going to require more strategy that's not something you're used to or something that you've ever done. And so, for instance, my client that I was talking to, she's going to have to bring on team in order to grow to the level that she wants to grow to. There's no way around it. She actually, kind of shortchanged some of her income last year because she didn't have team. She had to turn off her Facebook ads because it was like, I couldn't handle more, right? And it's kind of like a sad story because it's like that potential was there. And it's okay, it's perfect, and we're going to fix that, coming into this year so that she can meet the goals that she has. And thank you, Bianca. Yes, right? We feel this way once in a while. And I know if we're playing big, upper limits are going to occur. We're going to reach those moments where we want to go back to safety because we think it's easier. And so for her, I just showed her, number one, I'm here for her. I'm standing by her side, and I'm not going to let her slide back down the hill simply to be safe, because I know she's capable of doing more. And if she's got the right strategy and she's got the right idea and direction, then she can do it, right? And so sometimes you just need the support. So the three things that I think are powerful when you are feeling the upper limit or the quit or the confusion or the uncertainty, or I just want to, go do something else that's, makes me breathe easy. One, recognize it. Recognize what's really happening, right? Get quiet with yourself and go, okay, what's really going on here? Because I think what happens for people is they just go into reaction and they go, I'm great, I'm doing fine, but I'm going to go ahead and change my entire business model and change everything about it because I just think it's the best way to go. And not to say that sometimes that is the right thing to do. However, you want to make sure that you're not in reaction to the upper limit and just the fear of what it's going to take. Versus this is really what's aligned with my vision, right? That's two different things. So if you don't recognize it, then you are kind of running yourself blind. You're reacting, you're taking actions or making decisions, or you might be even making excuses and reasons why that's not going to work, or I can't do it that way, right? Just so listen to yourself, listen to what's really being said, what your chatter is about, and recognize it. That's step one, because you got to call your own BS once in a while and be willing to go, this is not what's really happening. This is my upper limit talking. This is my fear talking, or my resistance to what's next, and playing a bigger game. Number two is action. I always say action annihilates fear and doubt. And, if you and action doesn't have to be something, huge and completely outside of your comfort zone. It can just be what action is next, right? It's what is on the list, what needs to happen, what's on your calendar, go do that, right? Stay in motion, stay on track. And then sometimes the illusion of having that upper limit or the fears or the doubts will go away because you're in action and you're starting to build your confidence and see for yourself that you can do this, right? So, hey, Anne, Happy New Year. I miss you. Hey, Nicola. And, and it's a matter of really looking at what's the truth. And, we got to have kind of our own truth moments once in a while. And then number 2, take the action. And number 3, you got to get support. And if you don't have a coach or you have a mentor or a community or something like that can call you out and say, look, this is all that's going on, you can do this, then we're left to our own devices or vices for that matter, which could be avoidance and sleep and, making things up that just aren't real. And so just to repeat what those 3 steps are is to recognize what's really happening for yourself. Like ask yourself, am I really just feeling the upper limit, syndrome? And I just need to turn some brave on here and do what's next and take the next action. And then make sure that you're clear on what your strategy is to get to your goal and to get to your vision. And when you can't take the action or you just are, second guessing yourself, then you need to get the support. Those are the 3 things that I do every single time that I feel that. And of course, I have my own strategists and coaches and mindset coaches and all of that in my world because I invest in myself. And that's what I do for people as well, is I love helping people break through and be the brave master that I know they are. That's why I'm on this planet, is to help people be brave. And inside of entrepreneurship, every day is that next brave step, right? And you've got to be willing to be real with yourself, take inventory of what's really happening, and then take the action to overcome it. And so I see that working day in and day out with not only me, right? I do it for myself, but also for others. And when I see people really turn around, right? Just completely switch lanes or jump off the cliff or jump ship or, quit on things. It's certainly hard to watch because I know there's potential on the other side. And again, we have to do what we feel is right for ourselves, but sometimes I think we get into reaction versus being really strategic about what we're choosing. So I want to listen. I want to hear from you guys that are watching live. What is the one thing this year that you're stretching about? What's an example of an upper limit that you've experienced? What did you have to say yes to that really created that bigger leap of faith even? What was that for you? Hey, Cindy, welcome. And so number 1, I'm going to hold the space for you to have it. I'm going to have you, hold the space for you to really move forward into that vision, into that goal, whatever it is, because I know it's totally possible for you. You've got to have the right things in place. You've got to have the right support. You've got to have team a lot of times. And if that's all new to you, then you've just got to get support around how to do it. And a lot of times once we know how, then it becomes easier. It's in the confusion of like, I don't know what to do and I don't know how to do it, that we start to slide backwards and start sabotaging our progress. I've seen people where they've really they've hit 6 figures for the first time in a year or what have you, and then they slide back to where the comfort level is because it required a certain level of input from them, and then the next year they drop back down income-wise. And it's not wrong or bad or good or either. If there's no judgment about it, but it's a recognition of what did you do or didn't do, right, to make that happen or shift. What did you shift? Hey, Jennifer. Oh my gosh. I haven't talked to you in a long time. So yeah, Bianca, just bought a second laundromat in our city. Really stretch myself. Yes, I know you're always stretching yourself. I mean, I know it's been a long time since we've connected, but you're always like, what's next, right? And yeah, adding more locations to your business or things like that are really going to not only push your limits, but it's also going to force you to look at how do you get more efficient? How do you lean on other people? How do you trust other people to run it for you? And, and so that you're not the only one doing that. So I love to hear that you're expanding your portfolio. and, you know, and just really stretching yourself out of your comfort zone, because that's where the progress is, right? So congratulations. And what else? Who else has that upper limit going on? I know you guys have it, because I wouldn't be talking about it if you didn't, right? So when have you felt quit? Hey, Jennifer, I need some Jennifer. You need some Jenna. My friend Naomi calls it being genetized. I don't know where she got that, but thank you for the compliment. Yes, and I want to know what's up with you. Where I know you're constantly stretching yourself, and I just would love to connect and find out what's going on with you. So we do need some time together, and so let me know how to make that happen. But anyway, yeah, tell me more. Tell me more about what challenges you when you start to feel the uncertainty or the confusion. What keeps you stuck in that place? And hey, Christy and Lauren, thank you for the likes. Appreciate that. And, you know, this conversation, you know, is close to home. And I know it's a powerful one, because you guys, you know, if you're being an entrepreneur, period, is about stretch. It is about growing. It is about, I always call it, it's the ultimate in personal development, because it's going to test you. It's going to find your resilience or your lack thereof. And hey, Lauren, thanks for being here. And resilience is part of, it's the R in brave. Let me just tell you that. It is part of being a brave master. If you can't be resilient through those times that are tough, or that are confusing, or that are unfamiliar, you're not going to make it. I mean, it's just that easy and simple, because I've been there as well. You know, I've hit those moments. My first business failed. It fell flat on its face. I ended up in bankruptcy court. And yet I didn't quit. I just turned and changed directions and made something else happen, because I knew one thing. I didn't want to work for someone else. I got that itch, and I was like, I'm not working for someone else. It's just not going to happen. So tell me more. Would love to know what you're up to this year that's really going to press you up against your upper limit if you're not already there. And if you need support around making that happen, because I know it exists in entrepreneurship. I hear it every day. I hear it on my podcast and the interviews that I do, and how they break through them. I hear it in my client conversations, and I hear it in my own head. So it happens, and it's something that can be resolved, and that's what I want for you. Sally, hey Sally, oh my gosh, great to hear from you. It's hard when you don't have capital and have to stay within a tight budget. Yes, yeah, that's a limit alone. And I have to say to that, and that's actually part of the challenge I had in the first business, as I ran out of capital to keep the cash flow afloat, right? And so sometimes we have to look at what are we focused on. And clearly, I don't know your entire situation, but to speak to capital or cash flow or budgeting or what have you, it is a matter of what are you focused on? You know, are we focused on the lack thereof? Are we focused on expenses, or are we focused on income producing activities? And, you know, how are we maximizing and accelerating those income producing activities? Because there's only a couple variables inside of our money making potential, right? There's the money, the revenue, there's the expenses and the cost of things, and then we've got the profit that results from that. And, you know, and certainly there's times where I have maxed out credit cards in order to make sure that I invest in the next big thing. And, you know, and then there's times where I've had to pay them off and work on that as well. But the point is that you've got to find strategically what it is that you've got to focus on, because what you focus on grows. And for you, maybe it's looking at what are the income producing activities and you know that you're implementing. So just something to think about. I'm not sure if that helped or not, but I've been there. I've definitely had that conversation around capital or cash flow, etc. And budgets are no fun. I get it. It feels limiting, right? But it is smart to look at your numbers and know what's real. And then focus on the vision, focus on the growth, and how do you expand that revenue number so that budgets can grow with you, right? They can shift. So yeah, good. Glad that helped. So what else, guys? I know we got just a few more minutes because I want to make sure that you guys get back in the game of your entrepreneurship game that you're playing today. And but would love to hear from at least one more person of what is your challenge? What's that upper limit that you hit? When you just feel the quit or you feel the confusion. Maybe you're putting a new program in place and you don't know if it's going to fly. Maybe you're, growing your mastermind or your coaching or a practice if maybe you're accounting or whatever it is. There's another level that's got to happen. And I want to support you with that. So keep leaving comments. Love to see that you're here. And I just really appreciate it's not only this forum. I love being able to talk to you guys every day and support entrepreneurs and staying with your actions and what you're up to. But this is just such a fantastic opportunity to connect. So let's see. Anne, yes, you and I have talked a lot about your business, opening second location and keeping mothership running smoothly. Yep. I know you and I talked about that when we were looking at you buying or investing in the second location. And I totally agree that was your next stretch. And yeah, I just definitely feel like you definitely get the support you need in order to be able to see from the outside what needs to happen next. And the other thing is, and you and I talked about this, is, the mothership you have to expect the mothership to, kind of support the baby ship, right? The new baby. And for quite some time, potentially, until the other one's got some legs. And trusting your team and your support staff and training, right? Making sure that they are trained well. And the other thing to check in is when you start to try to let go of control and let someone else run the other ship, are we saying to ourselves, nobody can do it better than me? And it's just that's the chatter that can get in our way. And if you believe that, then that's what's going to show up, right? So it's just something to consider. Yay, they are pouring foundation for the new space. Oh my gosh, you and I need to catch up. This is so exciting. I love that you're making it happen. And I know that it'll be fantastic once everything is done and when everything is really moving forward. So I know you can do it. And let's see, Sally, you said something up here, clients holding you in place and not moving to the bigger thing with you. Yeah. So what I would offer there is it's not the clients holding you in place. It's us. It's right. We are the ones that get to move our clients to the next level. And we also have to be willing for some clients won't move with us. They won't grow with us. They're not willing to. So just willing to look at, how you are holding the clients in place so that it's safer. And, are we afraid to lose the clients? Trust me, I've been there as well. I experienced that, and I want to play bigger, and I want them to play bigger with me. And the truth is, some don't want to, or they just won't say yes to it. And it's okay, but it's like, I'm so connected to people's results, meaning I want it for them, probably sometimes worse than they want it. And that's okay, but it can be challenging when they just don't want it as bad as you do. And so they're not willing to kind of move with you, but it's okay. And so just look at it from that perspective. Hey, David. Yeah, reality versus expectation. You got to let go of those expectations because, and yeah, definitely have a reality check. So yeah, this has been, such a great conversation. And thank you guys that have shared your thoughts and your challenges and being vulnerable about that. Because of course I believe, that's what we're all about. If we can't be transparent and real about where we are and what we struggle with, then how can we break through it? So you guys have been really great about that. So thank you. And again, I'm here. I actually opened up, I put the link at the top of this post. If any of you would like support or are looking to have that this year, I've opened up a couple spots for people to jump on my calendar and we can have that conversation. And it's just, I know the power of having that mentorship, and I know the difference when you don't. Because I spent years in the previous business, and I kept hitting the limit. I look back recently I went back and looked at all of my like revenue numbers, simplistically, just like what amount of money did I make each year since 2010. I didn't go before that, but I've been an entrepreneur since 2006. And but when I went back to 2010, what I saw was, ironically, 2010, 2011, I made exactly the same amount of money, which at the time was $108,000. Not shabby, but remember that my husband and I were working together, if you don't know that already. And so that's two people making $108,000, not one, right? It was one business and we worked it together. But that's, you know, when you don't have the other income from someone else, we were splitting that income basically, then, you know, it's a tight road. It's a tight budget, as Sally was talking about. And then I saw when it dropped the third year, it went down to, I think, 89,000 or 82, something like that. And so I kept floating around this 100,000 mark, which sounds great, right? I know a lot of people are even trying to get to that, which is, I get that. And we started at 25,000 a year, you know, at the beginning. What my husband was running it, he was making about 25 grand, 30 grand, and needed help. So that's why we partnered up and we were able to grow it. But then we kept hitting this limit. And the truth is that I had to shift. I'm the one that was holding us back, or holding me back, or holding the business back. And I needed to make a change. And so we've got to look at what is keeping us at this water level or this limit that we keep experiencing, and be willing to make a change. And one of the things I started doing in 2013, scared as all get out, was start speaking. This video would not even have happened back then. I was so nervous about, you know, being in front of people or just speaking my mind, etc. It was pretty nerve-wracking. And so speaking was the next level for me. And sure enough, it changed my business. And now it's, you know, multi-six figures and growing. So interesting enough, I will be producing, we're working on it now. We're creating a program, an online course, all about speaking your way to 100K. So stay tuned for that. I'm super excited. And that's another like growth moment for me, is really stepping into the online world at a bigger level. Cause like I said, I built my business in belly to belly. I was speaking, I was sponsoring, I was showing up at events, I was holding events, and that's all in person. And so my next level is to master the online digital space and really take it to the next level for myself. And hopefully you guys will watch and join and play along with me. So stay tuned for that. All right, guys, thank you. I see everyone. You guys are awesome. Thanks for being here. And Sally, thank you so much for connecting. It's really great to see you again. Jennifer, all of you, I could list all of your names. It's just really powerful to see you this morning. So please keep leaving messages if you want more support or have questions. Again, jump on my calendar if you'd like to discuss if we're a good fit for each other to support you in your business. Would love that. And as always, let's go get our brave on. Let's have a masterful day. And I'll see you on the next Facebook Live, Jena Unplugged, next week. So I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Thanks so much. Jennifer, get on my calendar. It's the links up above. I just saw your comment. Please. Love you, Ann. Bye.